And we are back. Welcome back, viewers. And in my hands is a signed copy of the report from the advisory, the Immigration Advisory Council. And the minister have done African the honor of signing it. Let me read you what he signed. It said, AY, thank you for helping me get the word out on Africanad TV. Your friend. We have a friend with the minister. So don't worry. Every one of you that want to come to Manitoba, we will sign you in. I was only kidding. All right. Thank you so much, sir, for this.
You're welcome.
And before we went on break, we had some questions. If you are just joining us now, please make sure you watch the entire podcast from the beginning, and we'll go straight in back to our able, good-looking immigration consultant, Bukola. You have more questions for the...
Yes, I do. So I'll pick up from where you left before we went on break. You talked about the impressive advocacy of your office to secure additional nomination space, increased to 9,500, which is the 50% additional. And you also talked about the labor shortage, one which we know is in the press.
And ladies and gentlemen, Bukola has more questions for the minister, don't you?
Yes, I do.
All right,
So
over to you.
Sorry about that.
No
Before
worries.
we went on break, we talked about the impressive advocacy of your office, securing additional nomination spot to 9,500, which is really good. And you also talked about the labor shortage of the health has been in the press recently. So I got a question about that. Recently, as part of the Health HR Action Plan, the Manitoba government embarked on recruitment mission and offered letter of intent to nearly 350 trained healthcare workers from Philippines. I consider this to be great news because the labor gap for the field will be addressed, but there's been concerns regarding the selected source country. So the good thing is that you're the first Canadian-born person of Philippine descendants.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know that. Really? You did your
Yes.
research? Okay,
To enter
okay.
the
Wow, all right.
Manitoba legislation.
Is that true?
That is true.
Wow.
That is true. Yes.
Okay.
So the question here is, does this have any impact on the source country and why Philippines was selected?
You know, that's a great question. First of all, when the Premier tasked me to go to the Philippines, I can tell you again, might get emotional here, AY.
You're free. You're free.
Because my sister had told me that, Dad immigrated here in 1968. Fast forward 2023, you're the Minister of Immigration. You're going back home to the homeland, I guess, in terms of the Philippines, because of Filipino descent. And you're going to help, the term we use is kababayans, our compatriots, for opportunity into our wonderful province and our country. And good news story. Obviously other media outlets, and the reason why I'm here is because I need to set the record straight.
Please.
The reason why Manitoba chose the Philippines is because we have a memorandum of understanding with the government of the Philippines since 2008.
Oh, that's
So
good to know.
there's been a trusted document called a memorandum of understanding with regards to migrant workers coming to our province. So the question was, hey, I'm proud to represent Waverley. I'm proud to represent a number of cultural communities, including the Nigerian community. And one of the questions I was asked, one of the questions, I guess, a mutual friend of ours, Pastor Deborah. Pastor Deborah actually asked the Premier at an event, this is great news, but are you planning to go to other countries? And what I can tell you is the Premier responded by absolutely, absolutely. But obviously we need to have that trusted document called the Memorandum of Understanding.
An MOU signed.
An MOU, yeah. And the way you build relationships, because let's face it, Nigeria is, in terms of source countries for immigration, which is in the top 5, and I'm very proud of that because I'm very proud to represent Nigerians, is that it's still a relatively newer community compared to the Philippines. The Philippines, again, like I said, they've been here since the late 1950s. We've had a memorandum of understanding since 2008 with the government of the Philippines. The government of Manitoba used to go there before and recruit many workers.
So these have been going on long time ago, before
even
you being...
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, and even in the 1950s, since the late 1950s, there have been Filipino healthcare workers, teachers coming to this province. And the reason why is because at the time, and this is, I was not aware of this, my dad had told me this when I was a child, is that in terms of English-speaking countries, the Philippines compared to China, Japan, Korea, English is a common language in the Philippines. And I know we can maybe jump into the topic of language proficiency as well, because in Nigeria they speak English,
Yes,
right?
we do.
That's what I was about to say. We all speak
Yeah,
English
of course,
too.
of course, yeah.
The lingua franca from not just Nigeria, Ghana,
Commonwealth nations.
Yeah,
Commonwealth nations.
Thank you.
Remember, I like sports. I watch the Commonwealth Games.
It's true.
I watch the Commonwealth Games, so
Good.
so I know about these African nations. But so what I can tell you is that there is a memorandum of understanding with the country of the Philippines, with the Filipino government. So, contrary to popular belief, as in other media outlets, we don't go to other countries to poach workers.
Right.
We go there because we have a mission, and our mission was to get 150 nurses. We ended up having individuals sign letters of intent, 190 registered nurses, 90 licensed practical nurses, and 110 healthcare aides.
Wow.
So 350.
Okay.
So we are prepared to welcome them here in the summertime. And remember, this is we went there targeted to address labor shortage within the healthcare system. And I'm excited because, you know, I got to see it firsthand. Our team went out there. I got to meet with government officials. We had shared health. We had members from our immigration team help these individuals. And you can see the look on their faces. And what I can tell you, AY, I want to see the look in many more faces from other people from other countries coming to our province. I mean, I like to say that Manitoba is the home of hope, friendly Manitoba. So I just want to set the record straight that, you know, there's the memorandum of understanding, and I've got to explain that to individuals from other countries, because of course we want to have more people coming from other countries. But that's a process well before my time.
Signing
That has been signed, and you know what, eventually I would like to have more MOUs signed so we can welcome more to the province of Manitoba.
Well, it is really good to know, right, that it is not because you're a descent of
No,
the Philippines.
Absolutely not.
Because that was the concern out there.
Not just the concern, Bukola, it is what people believe that, oh, they gave you the whole, you know, in our cultural language, that if they gave you also the whole to till the ground, you're going to tilt it towards yourself.
Towards your people,
That you're
yeah.
just tilting the whole thing to yourself and to your people. You're from the Filipino descendant, and you're just going to the Philippines only to poach workers. But now you've set the record straight. Viewers, you can all hear that these has been signed since 2008, not just now. And it's just in time. This is not just coincidental. This has been something that has been going on for a long time. And you did make a promise just now that you're looking forward to sign Manitoba, not just you. If this is going to be your portfolio going forward again, because you're doing such an excellent job, as far as I know,
Yeah.
maybe to be the next online will be Ghana. Next in line might be Kenya, it might be Congo, it might be Nigeria, it might be Sierra Leone.
Well, one thing I want to tell you, AY, just to also add this as well. Many jurisdictions are going to the Philippines, not only Manitoba, but Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, BC, the UK, the United States, Germany. And the reason
Wow.
why is because there is a long-standing history with Filipino healthcare workers that they just do the job very well.
Let me come in. Sorry,
Yeah.
Minister. Do you know that if you're talking about the best healthcare practitioner, at least in North America to Europe, that Nigerians are way up here? Have you noticed that? From doctors to lawyers, doctors to nurses to healthcare workers. We, not just Nigeria, Africans, because they have this good educational system too. I know why we're a little bit jealous. I'm not jealous, but we are jealous. Like,
Of course,
we want to bring that in.
That's a natural thing, and I totally get it. Let's be clear here, right? But the thing is, I just want to state to the audience that we are competing. Manitoba is competing with other jurisdictions with regards to a specific country, which is the Philippines. What I can tell you is that from experience during the pandemic, what I saw on TV when you had a doctor talk, many of them were from immigrant communities.
Yes.
I saw a lot of Indos, a lot of Pakistanis,
Yes.
who were on TV. What I can tell you from my experience, even just by going to church many years ago, a friend of mine, Dr. Michael Eze and his wife Abella, one thing I learned from them is that, and one thing that I've seen over the years, the Nigerian community, the African communities, they come here and they have masters, they have PhDs. I'm very impressed.
We're well educated.
Right? Yeah, they're educated.
You remember the
Yeah.
clinic you just opened
Absolutely,
recently?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I represent a constituency where there are many people from different cultures, and I can tell you when myself, Councillor Lukes, and MP Terry Dugan, when we go to high school graduations, the ones who are racking up all the awards are from these immigrant communities.
Thank you.
And I can tell you the Nigerians are one of them, but you know why? Because the parents, my parents, they immigrated here because they want to give their kids opportunity,
life, yeah.
right? So I, as a minister responsible for labor and immigration, as a Manitoban, I want to serve my best to all peoples, not just one particular people. But I just want to say that I was very proud. I was very proud to go back to my parents' homeland. But I'd like to have more of those proud moments going to other people's homelands, if I'm allowed to do so. But again, it just feels really good. And now that I'm back here in Manitoba, obviously I always want to continue to improve and enhance programs and services for our province. And the only way that I can do that is to pass on the message and also to listen to the people.
Thank you so much, Bukola. This should straighten things out, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely.
And it's not only about the minister coming from the
Yeah.
Philippines. This is something he had no other choice but to do, and there's been a lot of history behind this gesture between Manitoba and the Philippines. And I believe that we have tabled our intent that we want to buy in. You guys must, Manitoba, the premier, please listen to us. Come to Nigeria. We want to come. Come to Ghana. Come to Cameroon. We want in. Because we have good, excellent, trained medical practitioners that will help our friendly Manitoba.
Well, the minister said positively that the government is open
Yes.
Well,
having agreements with other countries.
yeah, well, what I can tell you before that event, let's go back to that *ɪᴑᴜ medical event. Prior to meeting you, I told IOI that I was actually meeting a member of parliament from Kenya.
True.
And so I had met with her and we talked about internationally educated professionals and the fact that in this case, Kenya has a surplus of internationally educated healthcare workers. And so it was good to find out, just a couple weeks later that I guess she must have passed on the message to her colleagues in Kenya. And Kenya now has relationships with Canada with regards to labor as well. So
Wow.
maybe there's, I don't know if they signed a memorandum of understanding, but
something is already in the pipelines.
but it started because a friend of mine, her sister is an MP in Kenya. But that's how it starts. You start with these conversations that can lead to bigger and greater things. At the end of the day, we have a common goal to help our community.
There you have it. We have a common goal to help our community, to help our province, and we have such a receptive listening, good listening here, minister, ready to rock, ready to work, ready to collaborate, and ready to take us from where we are to where we're going.
Don't
I
waste
think
time, send the proposals.
so. Keep it coming, keep the question coming. We appreciate this. I think before you go, one last question.
Before you answer the question, though,
Yes.
ask me the question. I just want to tell the audience too. There are 70 recommendations in the Immigration Advisory Council report. There are 70 really good ones. But what I can tell you is that, and you know this, AY, my door is always open. If there is a recommendation out there that's not in that report, mind you, we did 14 public consultations. It took us a year, but my door is always open.
I can attest to that. The minister's door is always open. In fact, it's just a call away, a text away, and he will answer you right away. Remember the day I texted you and I alleged that you did not respond. And immediately, it's almost midnight. You said, "Come on, AY, I didn't see your text. Why would you say that, buddy?"
Well, I just want to tell people that my wife is telling me that I should sleep more. So if you want me to perform better, I mean, I will get back to you, but maybe not that quickly.
No, that quickly. Don't do that.
But I am prompt.
You are
I am
prompt. And I can attest to that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And because we've taken your time, just so you all know, the minister was just closing from work, a whole long day, went into big traffic. He still made his way down to the studio because he really wants to answer all your questions. We have more than 6 to 7 more big questions, but we cannot answer all today.
No.
And we would love to have him because we want him to have his energy still sustained. And that's why we started with, "Baby, calm down. Calm down. Avadima." We need everyone to calm down and listen and watch and rewatch and share this informative, entertaining questions and time with the minister. As you're going,
I have one more question.
one more question. You shoot for the question. Go for it.
So the election is around the corner for
Oh.
the government of Manitoba.
Wait. Are you trying to ask about the next election? Okay, go for it.
So we have the government of Manitoba election on the 3rd of October. It will be an opportunity for you to share your achievements with our viewers and how we can support you more.
Or asking directly, why must we trust you?
Okay.
Give us your own scorecard. Score yourself. Over to you. Let's go.
Well, the people are going to decide, but I'm going to say that with regards to myself and the constituency of ᴡɪᴛᴏ, I mean, my resume speaks for itself. I mean, I've worked hard, advocated for the needs of our area. We have 2 new schools already there, and there's going to be 2 more coming. So that's great for the community. We've had lots of local businesses that have opened up in our area that have invested $30 million, part of a trilateral agreement with the federal and city governments. We're going to be building the South Winnipeg Recreation Complex. So there's been millions and millions of dollars that have been invested in our area. Plus, I've advocated for a lot of local organizations to get funding as well. You know, our government's done a great job in filling the needs of our communities and in our local communities in ᴡɪᴛᴏ. I can tell you as a province, with my respect to my portfolio immigration, we have more allocations, so we're going to be welcoming more Manitobans. There's just a lot of things, a lot of good stuff that we're doing, and there's going to be more, so stay tuned. We had a pandemic. The pandemic, you know, every province struggled, but we are taking action on a lot of things. So you can trust us because we are able to deliver, we listen, and we are taking action.
Did you hear that? His government listens. His office listens, and they're taking actions. If you believe them, as much as we love everyone to believe them, keep that vote for no other person or for no other party. You can support the Conservative Party. Remember, we are non-partisan. But seriously, if someone is working, if something is working, we want to support that thing working. So for continuity, I would say, Omokorede, you're doing well. Have you heard that thing? When I say Omokorede, you are doing well. Yes, seriously, we want to say thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And for viewers that are listening, that are watching this, Manitoba is the place to be. If you're moving to Canada, seriously, this is the place to come to, and we'll welcome you because we are friendly Manitoban.
Friendly Manitoba. Again, Nigerian is one of the largest source countries that we have in terms of immigration, not just for skilled workers, but for students as well, post-secondary education. And the reason why students come here, young people come here, is because it's a lot more affordable to go to school here as compared to other provinces like Ontario or British Columbia. So affordability is another reason why people should be continuing to support our party so that we can become government again in 2023 in October. Thank you.
2000. And on this note, we'll be rounding up. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time today, Minister John Reyes. If you like this video, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
And from me, Ayodele Odayemi, I remain yours sincerely, AY the Senator, and we will see you while we're signing out with "Let me see you, lo 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 lo, let me see you, lo 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 lo."
Bugawa.
Keep bugaing everyone out there. Bye.
See you later. Thank you.